The United Nations Security Council met with Burundi's President Pierre Nkurunziza yesterday to push for peace talks and an international force to put an end to worsening political violence. The meeting that yielded little progress, according to U.S. Ambassador Samantha Power, brought together the head of state and the 15-member council, which arrived in Burundi's lakeside capital Bujumbura on Thursday. Trix Ingado reports.
The delegation met with President Pierre Nkurunziza in Gitega for more than 2 hours. The meeting, a second of its kind in less than a year, came a day after rebels in the smallest East African state raised the stakes in the crisis by declaring a general who led a failed coup in May as their leader. This deepened concern that Burundi is sliding back into conflict after its ethnically charged civil war ended in 2005. Nkurunziza's re-election for a third term sparked the crisis, which has raised fear of an ethnic conflict in a region where memories of Rwanda's 1994 genocide remains fresh. The Burundi government insists there is no ethnic bias, but opponents say districts in Bujumbura, where many Tutsis live and which were also hotbeds of protest against Nkurunziza last year, have been targeted, with some Tutsis singled out. The president has rejected the deployment of an African peacekeeping force, saying the troops would constitute an invading force. The issue is expected to be the focus of an African Union summit at the end of January.
We have told them that the government is following what the constitution says. Burundi has signed the international laws, which we follow.
Thank you very much.
Samantha Power made clear that the council wants to see more dialogue and an enhanced UN presence in Burundi.
I want to stress the Security Council has been in Burundi twice in the last 10 months. The only time in the history of UN Security Council missions that we have visited a country twice in such a short period of time was Burundi back in the 1993-1994 period. None of us want to support efforts at dialogue because we believe as a council that a more substantial international presence here can help. We've conveyed those points to the president. We hope he will hear our message. We hope he will he and his government will be open to ideas about how the international community can support efforts to bring peace to Burundi. It is in this meeting we did not achieve as much, frankly, as I think we would have liked. But we never give up. The cause of peace in Burundi is too important to give up. And so we will continue the dialogue. And we did agree on the urgency of the Burundian dialogue, the importance of potentially also broadening that dialogue to include other players. And so hopefully that is a step that can be taken very, very promptly, because there is a cri de coeur from many, many people in Burundi for outside help and for urgent mediation to get a political solution.
The United Nations estimates the death toll at 439 people, but says it could be higher. More than 240,000 people have fled abroad. The rebel group Forebu announced on Thursday that it was now commanded by the former intelligence chief, General Godfred Niobare. The group said it welcomed international mediation but also called for Burundians to support their fight against Nkurunziza. Burundi's government has accused neighboring Rwanda of supporting the rebel group by training and arming Burundian refugees recruited on Rwandan soil. Nkurunziza raised those accusations again on Friday with the Security Council, said diplomats who were in the closed-door meeting. Rwanda previously dismissed the allegations.
I think this is just childish, talking about refugees being recruited or by what. We have heard those stories and we have told these people, carry out investigations and find out who is gone where and how did they go there, and let us know.
Months of talks between the government and the opposition last year failed to make progress. Fresh negotiations began at the end of December in Uganda have already failed. Nkurunziza backed Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni's mediation efforts. Regional Western diplomats say the government has set too many conditions about who can attend talks to make them meaningful. They also say rebels may believe they can make more gains through force of arms than at the negotiation table. Trix Ingado, KTN News, Nairobi.